Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Muhammad Umar Sandhu, General Manager at Tawakkal Group. I warmly welcome you all once again to our 100 days shrimp farming training program. This program is designed to equip you with modern, practical, and profitable techniques in shrimp farming so that you can successfully implement them in your own project. Before we begin, let us start our session with the recitation of the Holy Quran. May Allah bless this gathering with knowledge, wisdom, and barakah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. Sadaqallahul Azim. In our last session, we had the privilege of learning from Dr. Aya S. Hussain, who shared her expertise on advancement in aquaculture and shrimp farming. She highlighted how modern technologies, innovative farming systems, and scientific research are transforming the aquaculture sector globally. We discussed how these advancements, such as improved breeding techniques, better disease management strategies, and sustainable farming practices, are helping farmers achieve high production, better quality, and greater profitability. This session gave us bigger picture of where aquaculture is heading and remind us that to stay successful, we must keep adapting and adopting new technologies in our own farming system. Building on that knowledge, today's session is more practical and hands-on, focusing on feed management practices in shrimp farming. Feed is not only the largest cost in shrimp culture, but also the most critical factor for growth, health, and survival of shrimp. Effective feed management can improve shrimp growth and survival rates, maintain better water quality, reduce feed waste and overall cost, make farming more sustainable and profitable. To guide us on this vital subject, we are honored to have once again with us Professor Ipung Purwanto. With his international expertise and long experience in aquaculture, he will share practical strategies and insights that every shrimp farmer can apply in the field. I encourage all participants to listen carefully, take notes, and prepare your questions for discussion at the end. This is the great opportunity to learn directly from an expert with global experience. So, without any further delay, let's warmly welcome Professor Ipung Parwanto and begin today's session on feed management practices in shrimp farming.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Now, our session is will be discussed regarding the feed management practice in shrimp farming, optimizing growth, efficiency, and profitability. Okay, next. In the feed management, it is very important due to the feed cost. It represents 40 to 60% of shrimp farming expense. It should be managed effectively because the poor feeding will be reduced growth and survival. Overfeeding deteriorate the water quality. Optimize feeding enhance profitability. Okay, next. Feeding management. Effective shrimp feed management involves adjusting feed types and size for different growth stages. using feeding trays to monitor appetite and prevent waste. Implementing appropriate feeding frequencies and methods, manual or automatic, and monitor water quality parameters to optimize feed efficiency and prevent pollution. Consistent monitoring, accurate record keeping, and adjustment based on the shrimp behavior and environmental factors are crucial for achieving optimal growth and sustainable productive cultivations. I want to highlight this for the consistent monitoring according to the shrimp behaviors. It should be monitored carefully. Next. This is the cost breakdown in the shrimp farming. I have mentioned that the feed it will be 40 to 60% in the cost. Okay, next. This is a diagram. The key factors affecting shrimp feed performance and success. It is feed formulations, feed manufacturers. Okay, there is feed transport and storage, feed regime applications, methods and feeding rate. It is very important for feeding rates, and then farming system. Okay, next. As per Dr. Rumi last time for nutritional requirement in the shrimp farming, especially in the Faname, the protein will be 32 to 40%, lipids about 6 to 8%, for energy and immunity, carbohydrate is about 15 to 25%, vitamins and minerals. It is essential for health and molting. Next. Benefit and the important effect of effective feed management, it will be enhanced shrimp growth, higher sulfur rates, stabilize water quality, reduce feed waste, maintain a good water quality, reduce the feed conversion ratio, minimize disease risk, increase farm profitability, and last is for improve farm sustainability. Okay, next. Strategies for effective feed management. We will do right feed, right and feed type and size for its growth rate. It is very important. Use feeding trays to monitor consumptions. Adjusting feed per day according to the demand feeding as required. Apply demand feeding or automatic feeder, and then regular water quality monitors. Next. Factor affecting feeding, environment factors. There is temperatures. The optimal range in 28 to 32 Celsius degree. Avoid feeding on cool or rainy days when shrimp are less active and their appetite is low. Then water quality, dissolved oxygen, ammonia, and pH. Molting. Reduce the total daily feed ration by about 10% during the molting periods. Shrimp health, monitor their behaviors. It is very important to ensure the shrimp are healthy. Next. This is the size of formulated fish. You can see there. That is for the first will be orders, crumbles until 1 grams. This will be crumbles. Then after that, the pelletized feed. Okay, next. Yeah. Feed type and size, as per our mentioned in the diagram in the tables previously, you need and use high quality of feed, formulated feed, formulated pellets, formulated pellet feed with good water stability. Okay. Feed size, the size of the pellet should be appropriate for the shrimp in the current size and growth state. Daily feed amount, apply the feed per day according to the demand feeding as required. Establish feeding schedules and frequency. Shrimp usually need 4 to 5 times a day. For timings, it should be consistent times. Using auto feeder as a shrimp is continuous feeders. Auto feeder can improve the shrimp growth. Okay, next. Okay, monitor and adjust the feed according to the shrimp response. Respond shrimp on the feeding tray. Feed tray checks. If the feed in tray clean quickly, we need to increase the feed amount. If feed remain, it will be reduced. External factors such as water temperatures or stress from the pond treatment, we can temporarily reduce appetite. Then the water quality management to prevent waste, avoid excess feed, which can deteriorate the water quality. Samples and adjust for the biomass change. It is for regular samples, especially it is done in a weekly basis for periodically samples to estimate the current biomass accurately. Then adjust feed the day for us based on the demand feeding for optimal growth. Okay, next. There is two step in the feeding program. The first feeding at the OC before 30 days. We call it the first month feeding program. First month, first 30 day. Feeding program POC until 30 and younger. Some people call the blind feeding. Sorry, it's blind feeding. Yeah? Even though it is not correct, actually, the blind feeding, it should be feeding programs in the first month feeding. This method focusing on the providing sufficient nutrient for the shrimp post larvae to grow. Because this is maybe some state is powders and crumbles, it should be manual feeding is applied. Next. This is the examples of feeding program for the little economy. For example, we are stocking in 500K at the OC until 30. This is you see there. The total cumulative feed in the during the 30 days it is about 1,000 about 1,300 kg totally cumulative during this 30 days. Okay, you can see there. This is as a sample for the feeding program for the first month. Okay, next. After 30 days, we call it after first month, we call it as demand feeding, meaning that we are feeding according to what is the shrimp demand. We use a feeding tray, check, or the automatic feeder at least 3 or 4 times a day. Observe the remaining feed is finished or not for further action. We categorized into three conditions. Totally finished, totally finished. We can adding 5% for the next feeding, meaning that the shrimp require feed more. Then a little bit leftover, small, more than 5% in the feeding tray. Keep feed on this amount. Maybe it is just enough in this amount. Just keep this. Then, if we observe that a lot of leftover feed there, so reduce by 5 or 50% according to what is the behaviors in the shrimp there. We need to further investigations for this leftover of feed, especially if we see there is a lot of the feed is left over there. As specials for the automatic feeder, if we use automatic feeders, every time we are checking feeding tray, it should be totally finished. It should be our highlighted as our noted that if we are using automatic feeders, anytime we check the feeding tray, it should be totally finished. Okay, next. Yeah. Feeding tray checking feeding tray checking duration by APW. APW ini meaning average body weight. It is the duration of the feeding tray. It will be followed by the correlation with the average body weight. In shrimp farming, in latest management, checking the feeding tray is one of the most important tools in feeding management because it helps to adjust feed amount and avoid waste and maintains the good water quality. You see that the duration of the checking tray depends mainly on the APW of shrimp, body weight of the shrimp. So you see in the tables, 1 to 3 grams, the time after feeding is about 3 to 5 hours. We check the feeding tray. 3 to 5 is about 2.5 to 3 hours. 5 to 10 is about 2 to 2.5 hours. 10 to 20 grams, 1.5 to 2 hours. And above 20 grams, 40 minutes to just 1 hour for the checking for the. This is if manual feeding applied. If we are using automatic feeders, it should be totally finished anytime we are checking the feeding tray. Okay, next. The placement of feeding tray. Usually in the common practice, we use tray in the 80 by 80 cm per square on the consequence area. We maybe it is actually more than trays to be placed in the feeding bridge. Some two commonly is 2 feeding tray is placed there. Place it in the pond bottom correctly. Stay good. Stay in the pond bottom. Timing as per our mentions as in the table previously. Also, the lift tray, feeding tray can also we do not eat in a fast to scarring feed, so it will be crunched. It should be unfried and observe feed remaining, then shrimp activity. It is very important behavior of of the feed, how it active, how it jumps. It is very important during we are check the feeding tray. Check also the feces accumulations. This is intact, should be intact. The feces and the hepatopancreas should be dark. Hepatopancreas, it is easily to observe, and the size uniformity. This is no any variation. The shrimp is uniform. It can be easily observed, and during we are observed in the feeding tray. Interpreting try in the for the feeding tray, if there is totally finished until less than 5% feed left in the hello.
Oh.
Okay, I will continue. It should be a good feeding rate, meaning that maintains and steadily increase, meaning that the shrimp need more. 5 to 20%, it is slightly overfeeding. Reduce the meals for the next 5 to 10%. More than 20, it should be evaluated why it is overfeed. So be analyzed and reduce feeding rate significantly. There is low feed and still last feed, meaning that increase the feeding rate in the next feed. Net feeding. Okay, next. Now we are talking about feeding rate. Shrimp feeding rate is a daily quantity of the feed given to shrimp, expressed as a percentage of their total body weight, and it typically decreases as shrimp grow larger. Okay, next. This is the tables for feeding rates. According to these tables, and the feeding rate will be lower as body weight increasing. This is the okay. This is next. Sorry, next. Okay. Now this is the correlations or feeding rate. Feeding rate is in the blue, a blue graph, and the APW or body weight in the red graph. So you see that as the APW increase, the feeding rate will be decreasing as mentioned in this graph. Okay, next. Then how to calculation of biomass estimation according to the feeding rate we have. Okay, the formulation is very simple. Biomass of the shrimp in the pond, it is feed per day divided by the feeding rate. Okay, feed per day is there, and feeding rate you can see there in the tables. Okay, back to the table. Back to the tables of feeding rate. Yeah, this. Okay, this feeding rate, it is as a standard. Actually, every country, every location, every farm, every species of the shrimp, it will be have a different feeding rates actually, but the local feeding rate we can extrapolate as per our history. We can have our own farm for the feeding rate as per our history, let's say in the 100 pond story of the normal harvest, we can use this for the our feeding rate. This is for just for a standard range of the feeding rate. Okay, according to this, we can evaluate later per our own pond bed. Okay, go to the next in the formula. Yes, this is just a formula. How accurate this? It is depend on how we are applied in the pond, in the monitoring feed. Okay, next. For examples. Okay, next. In the sample 1, we have, for example, in the OC 100, feed per day is 100 kg. Body weight is 20 grams. As per you see in the tables, please, table. Okay, you see in the table, 20 grams FPW there. Okay, you see in the body weight 15 to 20. The feeding rate range is about 3 to 2.5. So we use this body weight in 20. The feeding rate is about 2.5. We use this feeding rate 2.5 to calculate the estimate of biomass in the pond. Okay, back to the examples. Okay. Okay, you see there, the biomass will be 100. It is the feed per day as per our formula, divided by 2.5. It is as feeding rate, multiplied by 100. It is as percentage of the feeding rate. So it will be 4,000 kg estimate of the biomass in this example number 1. In the example number 2, if, for example, we have a DOC 140, where feeding rate is the same for examples, 100 kilogram, but we have a body weight 40 grams. You see in the tables, back to the table. Okay, in the 40, we see there the range 35 to 40. This is the range of feeding rate is 1.5 to 1.2 for feeding rate. So in the 40, we use the 1.2 feeding rate. So according to this number, we can calculate the biomass as per our formula, and we have the estimate biomass in the example number 2 is 8,333 kilogram. This is an example how to calculate the biomass according to the feeding rate we have. Okay, next. Now we are talking about the feed conversion ratio, or FCR. FCR is one of the most important indicators in feeding management of the shrimp pond because it shows how efficient feed is converted into the shrimp biomass. This is the concept of the feed conversion ratio. The formula is total feed divided by total shrimp biomass as harvested. Lower feeding, lower FCR will be better feed efficiency, and higher FCR will be wasted feed there. Poor will be poor water quality, and higher cost there. So our typical SCRs in the Faname intensive 1.2 to 1.5, it is the good range in this SCR in semi-intensive 1.2 to 1.5. In extensive, it should be below 1 because will be in the extensive use a natural feed for the supporting in the system. Okay, next. Now, factor affecting the FCR in the shrimp pond, it is depend on the feeding management, water quality, shrimp health and survival, feed quality, and stocking density. So these factors should be considering for us how to manage it properly to get the good FCR. Okay, next. How to use FCR in the farm management? In the daily weekly calculation, how many feed we are using, and we will be calculation what the estimate the biomass during sampling. Compare with standard FCR for given APV, APW, and culture system. Adjust feed ratio based on the FCR trend. It should be not in the range. Yeah, it should be FCR trend in the range. But if the higher than the standard we have, that is our warning. Oh, it should be evaluation. Keep FCRs below 1.5. It should be. So if the feed, it will be in the growth. If not managed effectively, the cost will be high. Then it will be affect to our water quality. Okay, next. This is the correlations between feeding management and water quality. We need to see monitor the water transparency and algae balance. Overfeedings, we call it the overbloom. Yeah, oversaturated. It can be algae die off. It will be oxygen depletion, crash, ammonia spike. It is common happen when the overfeeding is occurred. Make sure slab and water quality in the bottom. There is a slab layer. This will be an anaerobic bacteria there. Will produce eggs. Shrimp is exposed to the toxics that is in the bottom because all of the shrimp is actually occupied in the bottom. Please, by this condition, and the bottom is toxic, by a lot of the organic slug there will be slower the growth and high mortality will be occurred. So good tray management to minimize the slug accumulation. We need to pond bottom management to remove any slugs will be in the our bottom. It should be removed. But we have a good feed. There will be water will be stabilized in a good quality, especially on PO, pH, ammonia, and transparency. Okay, we are to avoid waste, yeah, in our pond, so we can keep the water quality in the good condition to keep the shrimp in health condition and a good growth. Okay, next. Okay, this is correlation between feeding management and water quality. Only 70 to 80% of feed is utilized by shrimp. The rest will be feces and item feed. The excess feed will be decomposed and release ammonia, nitrate, and H2S. It will be toxic to shrimp. It should be as our consider in this in the waste accumulation. So oxygen demands will be increasing if the more organic matters there by the overfeeding. Higher bacterial decomposition will be required oxygen consumption. This is the DO will be decreased in the night, so it will be shrimp stress, poor growth, and it is can be conditions disease as stress factors. pH and alkalinity fluctuations. This is to decompositions of the excess feed will be increased. This is carbon dioxide and the acid, so it will be lowers the pH. Acidic condition affect the nitrification, make the ammonia more toxic. Ammonia, a free gas, NH3, it is more toxic in the condition of acidic. So it needs the proper feeding stability pH and alkalinity balance. Alkalinity is very important here to keep the condition of pH is not fluctuating. Okay, record keeping all the feed amount and the times that I need to track the actual FCR will make informed decision how to improve the cultivation performance. The common mistake it is overfeeding, underfeeding will be stunted the growth. If the overfeeding will be poor the water quality, ignoring the feeding trade and using the expired feed. Next. Next, please. Okay. Yes. And next. This is the common mistake. Yes. The feed management. The key of success, it should be balanced nutrition to keep in good water quality, lead to healthy shrimp, low FCF, will be lower cost and high profitability. Okay, thank you. Next, this is a good one. Next, please. Okay, thank you. That is all. I play in the interactive session a lot of the things we are discussing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. Now I ask all the participants, please ask a question to Professor Ipung so you can increase your learning. Please raise your hand to ask a question. Is there anyone who want to ask a question? Please raise your hand. Okay, we have Miss Arisha Fatna who want to ask a question. Please, Arisha, go ahead.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Waalaikumsalam.
Sir, my question is how much feed should be put in the feeding tray to check the shrimp feeding behavior?
Okay, thank you. That's a good questions. It is depend on the epithelium and how is the age of the shrimp. Actually, common practice it should be about 1 to 2% of the feeding. For examples, if our feeding is 10 kg, for examples, in the feeding time, we are applying 10 kg of feed. 1% is will be 100 grams. So we can put 100 grams there in the feeding tray and observe uh, after depend on the ABW as I mentioned in the tables, maybe 2 hours after feeding. This is in the feeding tray using a manual feeding. Okay, but in the automatic feeders, we use feeding tray anytime we check the feeding tray, it should be totally finished. Okay, maybe it is can answer what your question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you said 1 to 2% of total feed.
No,
One
and
to
feed
two
time,
percent.
total time, and the feed time, in the feed time.
Okay, sir.
For examples, feed per day 100. For examples, it is will be 5 times of feeding time. So per times will be 20 kg, right?
Yes, sir.
Per feeding time will be 20 kg. If we put 1%, meaning 200 grams, right? And 200 grams put in the feeding tray, each feeding tray. Then we are checks after 2 hours feeding. Not totally feed per day, but per feeding time.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
welcome.
Sir, my next question is, as our production cycle is of 4 months, how can we check our survival rate every month?
Okay, okay, okay. Back to the our calculation of biomass. Please back to the calculation formulation of the biomass estimation. Okay, okay. We use this formula. Okay, and you see in the examples, this is the formula. Okay, how to calculation. According to this, you see in the example there. In the example one, okay, we can biomass is 4,000 kg. Okay, if the body weight is 20, so the population will be 200,000 K, right? 200,000, right?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yes, okay. This population, okay, this is estimates according to biomass estimate, we can estimate also the population, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for example, in example 1, the populations will be 200,000 piece. So for the survival rate, we can calculate according to how much. For examples, you are stocking 250K of shrimp. So the survival rate will be 200,000 divided by 250. So it will be 80%, right? You got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, we have Miss Hira Javed who want to ask a question.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Welcome, salam.
Sir, if there is a variation in the shrimp size in pond,
Yes.
is it because of feed management practices or we can reduce it?
Yeah. Variations in the frame in the pond, some variations will be there. Okay. First, we can observe during the PL's arriving.
Okay.
When PL arriving, there is will be mentioned there in the certificate of analysis what is the coefficient of variations there. So in this PLs, if coefficient of variation is more than 10%, meaning in the beginning, start of beginning, there is the same condition as variation. The shrimp PL as a seed, it is not more than 10% in the variation. Okay?
Okay.
But
Okay.
okay, but if we see there in the coefficient of variation is less than 10%, meaning that the shrimp is uniform in the beginning. Start we are stocking is okay, no any variation there. And if we observe after, for example, 1 month, 2 months, we observe there is a lot of shrimp variations, meaning that it is affected by the hour management.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Hopefully this
Yeah, yeah.
answer.
Or
Okay.
sir, we
Thank you.
can reduce this once there is a size variation. So with field management, we can reduce the size variation or not.
It shall be. It can be as the so the what is need to consider. Food is very important to nutrition balance to every shrimp. So we can prevent this variation by applying a good feed management.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much,
Yes,
sir. Thank you.
yes, yes.
Okay, we have another participant. Please ask. Alhamdulillah, today's session has been very insightful and practical. We learned a lot about field management practices in shrimp farming and how proper strategies in feeding can improve growth, maintain water quality, reduce cost, and ensure higher profitability. On behalf of Tawakkal Group, I sincerely thank our honorable speaker, Professor Ipung Purwanto, for sharing his valuable knowledge and experience with us. His guidance has surely added to our understanding of smart and sustainable fish farming practices. I also thank all our participants for joining with full dedication. Your active participation is what makes this 100 days shrimp farming training program successful and meaningful. Inshallah, in our next session, we will continue this journey of learning with another.
Inshallah.
Okay. Allah
Okay.
Hafiz,
Thank you.
everyone.
Welcome. Allah Hafiz. Assalamualaikum.
Halo, Assalamualaikum.